Hi, my name is Drew Scott of Lone Fox, and I would describe my style as attainable, DIY, and eclectic.
My name's Leonard Bessemer. I'm a furniture designer, and I describe my style as sculptural, animated, and indulgent.
So what did you think when you found out you had to hack an IKEA bookcase?
I was honestly excited, first of all, because the Billy popped in my head, and I've worked with the Billy bookcase in the past, so I was pretty stoked to do another project with it.
What I'm trying to accomplish with this challenge is I'm trying to make an IKEA bookshelf into my bookshelf. You know, give it a life of its own, so when you're looking at it, you kind of have a little more reverence for it.
We are gonna make this very budget friendly so that you guys can recreate it. I always keep it very, very simple. I personally only own like 4 power tools, but we are gonna make it work, and I'm really excited to get started on this bookcase.
I kind of wanted to just get rid of the whole profile, so I'm almost using it for materials solely and turning it into something almost completely different.
So my design for this piece definitely has like a slight Art Deco retro flair to it, which I love. I think the bottom base of this piece is gonna be really unique, and then the rounded edges is just gonna add like a nice movement to the piece, and the shape's just gonna be really interesting in the end.
When I'm designing furniture, I always take in consideration where it's going, who it's going to. I think it's kind of an obligation of a designer to do that. But then I also think about the actual like visual presence and sculptural quality of the piece. And that's also very important to me.
We are in the car headed to Home Depot. I need to pick up some supplies for the project. Thankfully, the list is actually pretty minimal, so let's get to shopping.
So I scoured LA looking for a Billy bookcase and actually bought a second bookcase, a used one that was really beat up, and used that to formulate my design and create a template for the final bookcase. I took the old bookcase, I cut away the pieces I wanted to cut it away and formulated it into a shape that I liked, that worked for me. From there, I take that template and I attach that to the new piece, and using a flush trim bit on the router, cut out another duplicate of it. Basically, it has a bearing on it that will ride along this edge and it'll cut the exact same shape. And there's our final piece. This is a way that you can replicate something. Like if you wanted to go into production and create 10 of these, I could do that. But realistically, you could really just do this with a jigsaw, cut out the shape you want, give it a little sanding, and it's ready to go.
So step 1 of this project, we are going to be creating the structure, which is going to be on the side of our bookcase there. I took a piece of paper and I drew out a 10 3/4 inch circle on that piece of paper, folded it in half, cut it along the line, and that was gonna be our template that's gonna be transferred to our plywood for the cut of the structure. So my biggest challenge is gonna be cutting out these half circle shapes perfectly, because the only half circle shapes I've ever cut out are the ones behind me in this IKEA piece I also did. It worked out, you know, but these are a little bit smaller. I don't have too much jigsaw experience, but we are gonna make this work, and I'm certain that it's gonna work.
Are you certain it's gonna work?
I'm certain it's gonna work.
So I really wanted to reinforce this new bookcase, and I did that by using the Domino Connect system by Festool. Now I can hold an elephant.
So I ended up using some L brackets to mount our shape to the bookcase. We're now gonna add the pull wrap to this side. So I recently found out about this product called pull wrap, which is essentially like slatted wood that you can wrap around a basement pole to make it a little bit more interesting, but we're gonna be using it to kind of fabricate the sides of our bookcase and give it a slatted finish. It's like we could play the drums, like there's different sounds. This nail gun is the best. You just pull the trigger and the nail just goes.
So I've now cut out my shape, only I've exposed the particle board that all IKEA furniture is made from, and you can't really paint that. So I need to basically cover that. And to do that, I'm gonna use edge banding, and it has like a hot glue on the back of it. So you can basically just heat it up and stick it onto the edge, and then it will stay forever, and you can then paint it. Pretty much everything in your kitchen is a piece of plywood with an edge band that covers it up. It's almost just like paper that glues on, and that just creates a barrier and a nice substrate that I can actually apply a finish to.
So I went ahead and removed the previous backing and then added the pull wrap in the back, which I personally think also enhances the structure of the piece, but it also adds a really great design element when you look at the bookcase from head on. IKEA
makes their furniture to pack into a small box, so the back has to be folded up into a piece, and they also want to make it as light as possible. Of course, the back is very important structurally, so I'm gonna widen the back groove for a different material. It's actually just a piece of masonite, a little stronger, a little more sturdy.
This is exactly what I was picturing. I think once we do paint it though, it's gonna look literally perfect.
So for painting, the biggest challenge is dealing with the pre-finished IKEA surface. Your best friend is gonna be shellac. IKEA furniture traditionally has that kind of like glossy laminate finish, so a great way that you don't have to sand and prime is actually using a shellac primer. It just goes right over top, dries down, and you're ready to paint. Shellac is a universal sealer. You can kind of paint it over anything, and you can kind of paint anything on top of it, for the most part. Don't quote me on that. But it's basically a wax made from beetles or beetle shells, and it's dissolved in alcohol. So it's quite natural. They use it on a lot of children's toys because it's very safe. And that'll create a barrier that I can safely apply whatever finish I want on top of that. Once I finish painting, I want to let it dry for a little bit, and then I just put it back together. Moment of truth. So this is the new back that I made. It's not super fancier, just a little bit thicker, a little more solid, no creases. Yeah. Looks pretty good. So what do you say? You guys want to see a shelf?
Hi, Leonard.
Hey, Drew.
And this is the Leonard I have been waiting to see the project of. Oh.
I'm very impressed, and I didn't see that coming. I mean, it's just like simple but unexpected, really clean lines.
Thank you.
Nice shape, like gives it some volume. It's that feeling where you make something and you see someone else and you're like a little envious of what they did. I love how like the actual like slats are still there and give it that texture and kind of like bumps it up a level. I'm amazed with what you're able to do with just a little bit of imagination and a little bit of time, and you can kind of make it happen. And has like IKEA or CB2 contacted you about producing this?
You know, not yet. No one's really seen it yet, but we can have talks about that. First of all, I don't even know how you constructed it or like cut the sides like that and then put it back together, because that is mind-boggling to me. It looks like a puzzle.
Originally, I just wanted to like take the face of it and give it like some angle, like give it a form, like it's like almost like a living thing. And then when I was doing that, I was kind of like, I didn't like how the profile was still just a square.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, oh, I'm going to put these little ears on it. It was just like in the process, you're in the middle of it, and that's when the actual good ideas come up.
I think that's my favorite part, actually, is how it's not like a perfect squared off top, because that's what you always expect from like the IKEA Billy bookcase. This is so unique. I've never seen anything like this. So I feel like that's just such a cool quality about a lot of your work.
My goal with all furniture is that like I want it to be when you walk in, someone goes, oh, wow, what's that?
Yeah.
And to walk in like when it's you and you can look at something and be like, every time you see it, you get that like kind of warm, fuzzy feeling of being like, oh, I love it. Whether it's because it's something you bought that was a really special find or custom, or it's something you made yourself.
Well, Leonard, just so you know, I'm going to be showing up very soon to use this workshop or have you teach me how to use it.
You have an open invitation, Drew.
Bye.
See you later, Drew. And maybe next time they'll give us an extra day or two to finish these projects.
I will not disagree with you on that.